Riven Mods seem to only really be available from Sorties. You can get one when you finish the War Within quest. You cannot get any more unless you do the Sorties, which you can't do until you've done the War Within quest. When you do get a Riven Mod, you will notice it says Veiled. These are ones that are locked at the moment. You need to complete the task that's on there by equipping it to a weapon, whatever rifle you have equipped, and doing what it says to do. This one's got to be the easiest out of them, kill 67 enemies. This one is synchronize a Samara's target. Can be a bit of a problem to get them done. Some of them sound like they've got to be done over more than one mission, but once you do complete the task that's on there, that's how you unlock the mod, so you can actually use it, reroll it, and things like that. To deal with the whole power issue of this, what they did is they added Riven Disposition. Weapons that do a lot of damage, like the Tonkor, now have Faint Disposition, which basically is meant to mean it won't get as much damage on the Riven mod. Neutral weapons literally have a neutral disposition, because the whole point of Riven mods was to bring older weapons that nobody really uses anymore up to date. And weaker weapons that this whole thing was aimed for got strong dispositions. I really need to show some love to the BURSTON, because I've had it so long. It doesn't even have a catalyst in it, and I don't even have a serration in it. That poor weapon. But that's why it's got a strong disposition, so people will go back and you can use older weapons without them having to buff them. And of course, I did go out of my way to find one for the Bratton, because I miss my Bratton Prime. It's not a case of it stopped being useful, as you can see by the fact it's got 9 formers in. I format it just so I can put this thing in there, because it goes up quite a bit, and actually it kind of made me go back to using the Bratton Prime again, which I haven't used really since the Vacor Heck came out. For a few different reasons, but it's still my most used weapon, so the fact that that's there, it's not the best of rolls. It's a bigger magazine with more damage, and punch through's pretty useless. I could re-roll this, but I don't think I will. I think I'm quite happy just leaving that as it is for now. I had the same thing. I was talking to somebody about the fact you can get the Sentinel ones, because I said somebody very kindly gave me the one for the Stinger, so massive thank you for that. And honestly, I took one look at it and went, yes, I'm gonna have that. And I tried giving them platinum for it, even if it was just a little bit at the time, but they wouldn't take it. Anyway, this thing has a strong disposition on it, so it doesn't increase damage. The loss of zoom is meaningless. It's a Sentinel weapon, so it's only minus. I kind of seen it and went, yeah, that's useless. The added status chance of 121 doesn't really matter. It's pretty low anyway. And I did one thing. I took off Stinger, and that is an increase I can live with. And this is remembering a Sentinel weapon. Of course, what else you can do with these is you can actually cycle them through to change what stats they have on them, which of course just comes down to costing Kuva and the RNG for that. But you do not have to accept what it actually gives you. You can stick with the old one just to question that one there. It should still have taken, yes, it still takes the Kuva off you and everything else to cycle it. But you can cycle these things pretty much constantly, from what I can tell. But that one's actually not bad. Magazine capacity and impact. I can't remember what stats are on that weapon, so I'm going to leave it there until I actually have a look. But you can do that a lot. And it does go up a lot as well. It starts at 900 and then continues to go up. The power creep side of this is hopefully the disposition thing will semi-sort out. I really doubt it, but I really don't want to get into the power creep side of this. The fact that these are mastery-based mods, I kind of like that side of them a lot, because it adds content for those who they get up to a certain mastery and then they're just, oh, this is mastery fodder, and this is mastery fodder, and this is mastery fodder. when they don't really sit and play with a weapon. It's just they'll build something just to try and get from Mastery 10 to Mastery 11. They have got some Mastery 13 based. I think there's one Mastery 13. There's a few 12s. I think it's only 113. I'm not sure on that anymore. But it's the biggest problem with these things has simply got to come with the fact that because they cost so little to fuse and all the rest of it, they are going in the trading channel for silly amounts of platinum. I'm saying 1,000 platinum for some, 3,000 for others, everything in between. Some of them going for more respectable couple hundred, but apparently them ones aren't that good. And I mean, legendary fusion cores should be worth more than that. 3,000 platinum for this. It's not quite at primed chamber territory here, but come on, these mods are not that rare. Once you get a hold of one for a certain weapon, you can roll it and put whatever roll you can eventually get on it. Okay, you could take the rest of eternity to get that one decent roll on it, but yeah, you could eventually get it with a little bit of luck, and people are trying to get silly amounts of platinum for it. There needs to be something like the legendary core and the primed mods where trading these costs 1,000,000 credits. That will bring the value of these down a lot. Eventually they will come down anyway. It's just because they have recently been added to the game, they are going for just insane amounts. Once the market has been flooded with these things, that will end. Kind of like Ember Prime. She's due to come back in a few weeks, which means that the 1,000 platinum price on her will be about 100. But I do agree with a lot of people when it comes to these. There are certain weapons that did not need mods that made them better, but there are ones that I do like. The Stinger one, well, the stats don't lie. The fact it has electrical and zoom on the slash is useless. The Stinger does 0 physical damage. It's all elemental. It doesn't do slash damage. So that's completely useless. 138% of 0 is still 0. But the Bratton one, okay, that's not really that much either, but it adds damage and it increased the magazine capacity. So that actually made me use a weapon I haven't used in months. Possibly more than months. The Vacor Heck has been around for a long time now. So that did what these mods were meant to do, and it got me to use a weapon that I stopped using. It wasn't down to power creep or anything else. It was just I found something I liked more that did more, obviously does more damage. But it's made me go back just because the mod is there. If that mod wasn't there, I would love a... Where is it? It's sitting right next to this machine. I would love to be able to take my Bratton Prime and put it on the primed pedestal for the rest of it and never use it again. But because that mod is a thing, I've actually started using it again, and honestly, I'm kind of really liking it. I liked it enough to format a D onto a weapon, not off it.